Gotta love Gold Ship. This is Nelson Ranch. Okay, so I actually want to talk about the new skills that was implemented. Um, and everybody's got the, 1 star and the 2 star characters, so I'll start with that. And then I kind of want to talk about the 3 star characters, whoops, that are available from the daily legend races. So I'll talk about these characters. I'll probably split them up because it's going to take a while to actually do them all. But let's get started. Okay, so Saino Kaika, here we are. So I guess I should start with the 2 star gold ship first. So actually that's not the one. Here it is. So gold ship is a 2 star character. This is a skill that basically increases your vision, field of vision. It's actually quite useful in the stadium, but not useful in the championship meeting at all. Now when this evolves, this actually improves your health. This is a recovery skill now, so it's actually not bad. But it only recovers like a white skill, so not totally useless anymore. Now, what are the qualifications to do so? Basically, you need 2 recovery skills, or you need to have this event that happens where Gold Ship wins against Nakayama Festa. So you can just ignore that one. I think basically if you have 2 recovery skills, this will be available for evolution, although I don't know if you want to evolve it. And if you have stamina over 600, this would be available. This is the gold recovery skill that Gold Ship has. This is, a very good skill. I think this is the only skill in the gold form that any character has at the moment. I don't think any support card makes this available as well. This is now a skill that also increases speed. So this is actually a very, very good skill. It increases your stamina, but it also increases your speed, so your health rather. So basically, you have to do 1 training when in Gold Ship's when you do Gold Ship, there's this moment where you can only do 1 training because Gold Ship is finicky. So when you do that training, this is now available, or you need 2 skills from chasers. And this is pretty much the easy one to do. And you have to win the long distance G1 twice. So you're going to win the G1 once because to finish Gold Ship you got to win Arima Kinen. And I imagine you're going to win 1 more G1 somewhere along the line. You're probably going to win the Arima Kinen in the year 2. So you're probably going to win Arima Kinen in year 2 and year 3. So this is going to be a very easy skill to evolve. So there you go. That's Gold Ship for you. This is Vodka. Vodka, a 2-star character, has Quoten Isoku. This is the skill that was updated recently, so that it now procs reliably. It procs and it's a reliable skill to fully recover your health. So this skill will improve to increase speed as well. So that's actually very good. For this to happen, you have to either win the Japan Derby or have speed over 800. I think everyone's going to have speed over 800, so this is going to be pretty easy. And you have to have 3 skills that increases your speed. So that's actually very easy because 1 skill that increases speed is the skill that you have as a unique, and all you have to add is 2 more skills to increase speed, and that's, how can you not? Alright, so this is Daiwa Scarlett, 2-star character, Race Planner. Race Planner will also increase speed as well, just like in the case of Vodka. And for 1, basically you have to be either first or second 6 times. I think that's pretty easy. And you have to speed over 800. So these are the 2 conditions that you need. For the other skill, Killer Tune, this is the mid-distance skill. It's going to become Perfect Tune, and you will also increase your health here. So can't hurt. And here you have to win the Triple Crown or win 2 G1s. So this is like makes no sense because if you win the Triple Crown, you're winning 2 G1s in the mid distance. But I suppose if you can't win either the Oaks or the Autumn version of the Triple Crown for mares, you just win the mid distance G1 twice, and you have to have 2 mid distance skills. So if you're trying to make Daiwa Scarlett for the long distance or for the mile, well, I mean, Killer Toon's not going to have it. You're not going to take Killer Toon anyway, so it actually makes sense. Okay, the other, not other, let's keep going with the 2-star characters. This is Grass Wonder. Norikae Jozu has recently been updated so that it will apply to characters that are in 4th place or below, so it's actually a much better skill now. And it's going to happen in the first quarter of the last segment, so that's actually good. And this is the new improved version, the evolved version of it. So apparently you need 3 conditions for this to happen, but all this does, it slightly increases your vision. So if you already have Sashikotsu, the green skill that increases your vision, you may not really need to do this. Or I suppose what you could do is instead of having Sashikotsu, you just do this and you dispense with the green skill. That's another way to think about it. For this, you have to win the G1 mile once, you have to win the mid distance G1 once, and you have to win the long distance G1 twice. So 4 victories, which should be pretty easy as Grass Wonder. Grass Wonder is a very good character, a very easy character to to play because she has 20 to speed and 10 to power. It's the flip side of Vodka. These 2 characters are very easy. Condor Pasa is also quite easy because she's got 20 to speed and 10 to intelligence, and she has this skill, Yoyu Shakushaku, which is a recovery skill that will also increase speed, so that's actually pretty good. You have to basically be in the 1st or 2nd place 5 times in a G1, G2, or G3. So this is actually a pretty easy condition. And you have to have 2 skills from being a leader. This is skill that will count as itself because that's 1 skill as a leader, so it's going to be pretty easy to get that. This is a mid-distance skill to increase vision, just like Gold Ship. Again, only useful really in the stadiums, but now it's going to be improved to this, so that increases your speed. It may be worth it to have. It only applies in the mid distance, but you have to win the mid distance G1 3 times, and your speed needs to be over 100, which should be pretty easy as well as El Condor Pasa. So if there's a person who really loves El Condor Pasa and has put in points into Hawkeye to get this version cheap, now you can actually get this gold skill pretty cheap. Because I think it only costs 210 total. Yeah, so and you get a skill that increases vision. I mean, for championship meeting, generally speaking, people don't get that skill. All right, so 2-star character, Air Groove. Here we are. Air Groove has been buffed a lot. Blaze of Pride is her unique skill. This is more useful when this is more reliable when she is a betweener, but this can also happen if you are a leader, if there are a lot of runners out there. So this is the skill that you could get in Grand Live from at the very bottom of the list. This basically allows you to change lanes easier, and this now becomes a skill that will make you change lanes easier, but also increase speed immediately. So this is actually a big boost because this means that even if it happens in the middle of the acceleration phase, you're going to get a benefit of this. So as a 2-star character, this is actually quite good. So one condition is either you have to have speed over 800 or power over 800, and the other one is you have to have 2 skills that increase acceleration. So you basically have to get 2 acceleration skills, and that should not be that hard. You just get various acceleration skills. Like if you, I don't know, get like a Tsubazeri or something like that, you'll get that skill. And she's like Vodka, very easy to train. I think this is the last 2-star character, Mayano Topgun. Mayano Topgun's skill is Koten Isoku. This is the Vodka skill. Instead of now just recovering normally, this will have a very strong recovery. So this skill will be as strong as Super Creek's unique skill. And you basically need to do either 4 mid-distance skills or 4 long-distance skills. And what this means is, if you do this, you really only need 1 recovery skill for Mayano Topgun in the mid-distance, and that's actually quite good. So Non-Stop Girl has also been improved for her, and what this does is it increases your health recovery as well. And the conditions for this is you gotta win the Arima Kinen in your 2nd year or win 3 G1s, and you have to have 2 recovery skills. So 2 recovery skills. One will probably be this skill. Did I actually talk about the conditions for this? Yeah, I did. So you have to pick another recovery skill. You know, it doesn't really matter what it is. Just pick one, and you can get this evolved version of Non-Stop Girl to, you know, help you deal with any situation you're in. Since it doesn't say about which distance, you can actually get like a long distance recovery skill, it doesn't matter, right? So you know, that should be pretty easy to fulfill. Just get the cheapest one. Or get one that applies. Okay, so this is Super Creek. Super Creek is the last 2-star character. This is the Maestro of the Curve. And the Maestro of the Curve is also a very strong recovery. So she now has 2 super strong recoveries. So she has Purity of the Heart, which is a very strong recovery, and Maestro of the Curve, which is a super strong recovery. So Super Creek can now basically run the 3600 easy. Like real easy now. So basically you have to do either win 3 long distance G1s or have 4 skills that increase recovery. And that should be pretty easy because you got 1 and 2 and all you need is 2 more. So you can actually pick 1 here and you pick 1 more and this will become a strong recovery. Now if you're running a mid-distance, you might say, you don't need it. Hell, if it's mid-distance, this might be enough and you might not even need this at all. So that might be one way to actually think about it. This was a useless skill. It was a debuff skill, so it was only useful in the stadium, and even in the stadium, its effectiveness was very, very questionable. But now, this will increase your speed. So you can actually get this at a very cheap price, and it would be a powerful skill that increases speed for not 3 seconds, but 4 seconds. Or anything like that. This Shibarak, so it's going to last for 4 seconds. So it's basically like the chaser skill that Power Ayabe-san or the intelligence Mr. CB gives. It's basically that skill, so it's actually quite good. But only problem is that it procs at the very end of the race, so if it happens in the acceleration phase, while you're accelerating, this skill will be more or less useful. So that might be why it's going to last for 4 seconds. The conditions for this is you have to eat all the sweets in the event of the sweet temptation of at night, or you have to have intelligence 800. I think intelligence 800 is the easy one to get, and you need 2 leader skills. So that's pretty easy because this is a leader skill itself. So you just need 1 more leader skill, and that's it for the 2-star. So let's do 1-star. This is all 2-star. This 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. First 1-star is here. Mejiro Ryan. Let's anabolic. Okay, so her skill is Noboriryu. This becomes the Rising Bulk Up. It's a skill for betweeners, and your speed is going to increase tremendously. So this is actually a boost. Basically, you have to have an event. Kinniku ni fukano wa, or nothing is impossible for the muscle, and you have to, this event has to work for Mejiro Bright to Mejiro Dober, or you need to have power over 800. I think this is the easy one to do, power 800, and you need to have 2 skills as a betweener, and you get 2 skills. One is this one, so this should be pretty easy. And the other one is Killer Tune, and the problem with Mejiro Ryan for a long time was that Killer Tune only happens if you're in from 1st to 5th place. And her skill, unique skill, kicks in if you're in 6th place. So, I mean, she had a skill set that didn't, match. And so this was, pointless to get if you want to get that acceleration as being 6th place. But she had this skill, Killer Tune. Now it's Muscle Anthem, and it's the same condition. You have to be in the first 4. So I don't really recommend getting this one for Mejiro Ryan, but I suppose if you're a betweener and you're already up front, then you might as well get Muscle Anthem, because what this does is increase your speed tremendously. So instead of your speed increases by 3,500, it's going to increase by 4,500. The unique skills of Rudolph or Teo or Narita Bryan or anything like that. So this will, to get this, you have to basically win a mid-distance G1, G2, or G3 twice. That should be pretty easy. And you got that fan number over 150,000. That should be pretty easy as well. So that's Muscle Anthem. So Mejiro Ryan is still weird. Like her gold skills don't actually match her unique skill. 1-star character Agnes Tachyon has Race Planner. Race Planner is a skill that increases your health recovery. This will now increase your health recovery and increase your speed. So this is actually good because you want Race Planner anyway, right? So what conditions do you need? You need to win the Hopeful Stakes, the one at the first year of December, or you have to have Speed 800. I think Speed 800 is pretty easy. Everyone's going to get that. And you need 2 leader skills. That's 1, so it should be easy. Get the second leader skill. And the other one is this one. This is a Monopolizer or Dokusenryoku, and this was a useful skill. But again, this skill didn't fit Tachyon because people don't really know this, but Dokusenryoku only works if you're in the back. So I think you have to be like either 5th or 6th place or below for Monopolizer to kick in. So if you use Agnes Tachyon as a race planner, Monopolizer only works if she's losing. And so if you want to use Monopolizer and make her win, then you have to use her as a betweener, and then Race Planner becomes useless. So this was improved in such a way so that your speed is going to increase at the end of the race. Now, again, if it's happening at the acceleration phase, the speed increase is not going to be that effective, but it's better than Monopolizer if you're going to run her as a leader. So you need to have 4 mid-distance skills. So this is 1. So you need 3 more mid-distance skills, and you need a total of 5 speed skills. So I think what they're saying is that you can use her for long distance too by getting 5 increased speed skills. By the way, getting 5 increased speed skills is the same conditions as Mejiro Lamone, so you might, it's going to be pretty easy to get this now if you have Lamone. 1-star here, winning ticket. This skill was improved tremendously, so now, it's no longer in that very narrow range. This is going to actually proc pretty often. Winning Road is now the new skill, and what this does is it increases your recovery. So, this actually helps Winning Ticket because Winning Ticket has no recovery skills, if you notice. This now has a recovery component to help her out. So for this, you need to have either Stamina 600 or fan numbers of over 150,000. 150,000, and you need 2 recovery skills. Now this is actually going to count as a recovery skill because that's what it says. So all you need is 1 more recovery skill and she's set to get that one. This skill was a useless skill because it increased the acceleration usually in the very beginning or in the middle of the race, early in the middle of the race, and those are phases where it was totally useless for betweeners, and Ticket is a betweener. She is designed as a betweener. I mean, she can be a leader, but she's designed as a betweener. So how was this fixed? Now it's fixed to this. So when you try to pass someone, your acceleration is going to increase for a while. And your speed is going to increase. So this is basically now a 4-second speed increase skill. That's what this is. but it's only this much, so it's not that good, but it's better than before. It may be worth it to have because you can actually the speed is going to the speed increase is going to last for 4 seconds. So here your power is over 800. Or you win the Japan Derby, so you got to do one or the other. But power over 800, I think, is the easy one to do, and you got to have 3 speed skills. So you do that, and ticket has now been improved. So this is okay. The 1-star character Sakura Bakushin-o. This character's spin turbo has been improved, and it's been improved even more. So now your acceleration is going to increase and your speed is going to increase. So if the sprint happens towards the tail end where your acceleration is almost over, then the increased speed is going to kick in and it's going to help this out. So how is this going to happen? You have to win the sprinter stakes twice, or you got to have 5 speed increase skills. And you won't necessarily use Bakushin-o with Lamone, because Lamone is for mile and mid distance. But if you can get 5 mile skills and you use her, oh no, wait, this is for the short distance, so yeah, it doesn't actually fit too well. But if you can get 5 speed increase skill, you can do it. But if you're focused on the short distance, you should win this Sprinkler Stakes twice. So that Evo skill should be possible. This evolutionary skill is totally useless because the original skill is useless. First, you have to use Bakushin-o as a runner, and you have to be at the front of the race with a wide margin. Okiku saotsuke. And I think that basically means like at least 3 horse lengths away from everybody else. And that's pretty much impossible in the short distance. Even if you are an Oniga, that's impossible. That's really, really hard to do. And now this becomes the same thing. You have to be 3 horse lengths in front of everybody else, and your speed increases dramatically. It's not going to happen. But for this evolutionary skill to kick in, either you have to have this event that happens, Gakyu Incho Nani Kakete, or you have to have speed 800. So you're going to probably get the speed 800, and you gotta have this skill, this event happen, Iza Ijincho Shobu, and you have to have the intelligence over 800. So I think this is the easy one to do, but this is going to be very, very rare for it to happen. It's not even going to happen in the stadium. So she effectively only has 1 skill, 1 gold skill, and that is kind of like Mejiro Ryan, right? And it was tough to run her. So I have actually high hopes for Bakushin-o's alternate outfit. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but I have high hopes for that. Haru Urara was considered to be the weakest character because she has 3 gold recovery skills essentially, and they're totally useless for the mile. You don't need a recovery skill in a mile. But now this skill, which was a gold recovery skill, has been improved so that she's going to increase her speed, increase her stamina even more, and again, a totally useless skill. So you gotta be charming, or you gotta have 2 skills to increase your lane change ability, and you gotta have fan numbers over 150,000. This is actually gonna be pretty hard for Haru Urara actually, but thankfully this is a useless skill, so you wouldn't use this anyway. Fukutsu no Kokoro is a skill that increases your health, again, not useful in a mile. Especially because she has, her original thing. So this is why Haru Urara was considered the weakest character, because she has the weakest skill set. On top of that, her bonus was to guts. And previously, unless you did a guts, build, people said that. Anyway, this skill there's been a minor increase and minor improvement, and that it increases your speed a little bit. And for this to happen, you gotta have guts over 600, which is pretty easy to do. You gotta have 3 skills to increase your speed. So, do you want to, get this gold recovery skill to get something that's effective to a white speed increase skill? I don't really think so. So I think Haru Urara can be still considered the weakest character, but now that I've won the championship meeting once with Haru Urara, I don't necessarily think she's the weakest character. I think now the weakest character is Machitake Fukukitaru. Machitake Fukukitaru had 2 useless gold skills, just like Haru Urara did, but at the very least, she had 3-7, and she had this, and this was useful for the uh, mid-distance or the long. This was not that useful for the long, and this was not useful for either mid-distance or long, but these were fixed now. This was fixed now, so they're now useful for mid-distance and long. And like Haru Urara, this is not a useless skill, but this was a skill that was really, really hard to proc. This is basically like the same conditions that the old non-stop girl had, and you know, it's like, why would you want that? On top of that, she had two skills. This was a useful skill in the stadium, but totally useless anywhere else. Now, it's going to increase speed. It's going to increase speed for 4 seconds. And it's not the weak version, it's a normal speed increase for 4 seconds, so that's actually pretty good. But it's going to happen at the last leg, so if it overlaps with the acceleration phase, it's not useful. So again, you know, you're hoping that this happens after the acceleration phase. And for this, you got to have over stamina 600, and you got to have 2 long distance skills. So this is now considered and you know, this is actually very easy to do because this is a long distance skill itself. This skill was totally useless because Super Lucky 7 basically meant that you have to be in the number 7 slot when the gate, you know, when you go into the gate. And then not only did you have to be in the number 7 spot, there was only a 50% chance that it would happen. So this skill will only proc 1 out of 18 times, right? Because there's 9 slots, so you got to be in number 7, so it's 1 out of 9. And then on top of that, it's a 50% chance of happening or not. So 1 out of 18 chance that it would proc. Totally useless skill. And it would increase your stats all across the board, but I think it was only like a 60 increase. Now this will increase your stats 80 across the board, but it's the same condition, so it's only 1 out of 18 times. Why would anybody actually get this skill? And on top of that, you now have 3 conditions that you need to do. First, you gotta win the Hakodate Kinen, or you gotta have 3 speed increase skills. That's actually pretty easy. Or you gotta win either the Ogura Kinen and have 2 acceleration skills, and I think the 2 acceleration skills is actually pretty easy to fulfill. And finally, you gotta win the Sapporo Kinen, which happens in the middle of your summer training, and that always sucked. But anyway, you also have to have 2 green skills, and 1 green skill would be this. So you know that it's actually not that hard to do it, but it's still a totally useless skill. So I think now the weakest character is probably the 1-star Machitake Fukukitaru, and I'm sorry for any Machitake Fukukitaru fans. And my suspicion is that the devs are saying, hey, if you are a big fan of Machitake Fukukitaru, get the 3-star version of Machitake Fukukitaru. Don't get the 1-star. Don't use the 1-star version. You know, I think that's basically what they're thinking, and that was probably what they were thinking with Haru Urara. If you are a fan of Haru Urara, then you know, don't use the 1-star version of Haru Urara, get the 3-star version of Haru Urara. You know, put your money where your mouth is. pull those characters, or you know, exchange those characters with the 3,000 yen ticket. That's basically what the devs are saying, I think. But yeah, so now the weakest character is probably Machitake Fukukitaru, followed by the number 2 weakest character, Haru Urara. And then, you know, as 1-star characters go, I think Ryan and Bakushin-o are below that. Oh, alright, so now the last 2 1-star character is Nice Nature. Nice Nature now has Happo Mirami. Happo Mirami is now going to increase speed at the end of the race. And this will increase, this will evolve if you have 2 betweener skills. This is a betweener skill, so that's easy, so we'll get 1 more betweener skill. And you need to have 3 increased speed skills, and this won't count, unfortunately. So you have to actually get 3 separate increased speed skills. Or you gotta get Tsurume Ikaga desu. Alright, this is an event that happens in the game. The reason why I skipped this one is because you gotta get 3rd place once. You don't want to get 3rd place ever, so you know, that's why it's I don't bother with that one. Alright, so this is the other what do you call it, debuff skill that 1-star Nice Nature has, Miyako no Sasaki for mid-distance. Now this is a Miyako no Cynical Girl, and this basically says that if the front is blocked, then your acceleration will increase. This is essentially the same as the old non-stop girl, and it probably means that it's just not going to happen. So I really don't think it's worth it to have, but if you're desperate to win with the 1-star Nice Nature, then get the Miyako no Cynical, evolve this skill. How to evolve this skill? You need once to take third place in a race. Again, you don't want to take third place ever. You need to get 2 mid-distance skills. This will count as a mid-distance, so this is pretty easy. And you gotta have this event Surumi Kaga desu, or you gotta have 2 acceleration skills. And this will not count as an acceleration skill, so you gotta get 2 other acceleration skills. But that shouldn't be too hard. So again, nice nature. Nice Nature was always a very powerful character because of her debuffs. She wouldn't necessarily win, but as a debuffer, she was very useful. And if you want to win with Nice Nature, I think the devs are basically saying, go get the 3-star version of Nice Nature, which I actually have. I actually do like Nice Nature, so I got the 3-star version of Nice Nature. Where are you? Where are you, Nice Nature? This is all 4-star, 4-star. Nice Nature. There it is. I haven't made her 4-star. And she had Monopolizer and she had Nonstop Girl, right? Maega Fusagareta Toki. So there you go. I think, and I was able to win a championship meeting with her, so she's actually quite powerful. Yeah, see, it's not Maega Fusagareta, but now it's Maega Tsumaru, so this is just not gonna happen. The evolve skill is not gonna happen. So if you want to use Nice Nature as a 1-star, the devs are probably saying, just use her as a debuff, and if you want to win with Nice Nature, like with Haru Urara and with Machitake Fukukitaru, go pull her, the 3-star version. King Halo actually was a character that was beefed up in the first anniversary, and with this boost, she's now actually a lot better. So now, this was already boosted, so you would increase speed in the long distance if you were in the back. Now, not only if you're in the back, you increase speed and have a little bit of acceleration. There was a little bit of acceleration that's added to this. Now, that little bit of acceleration that's added has been, beefed up a little bit more. So this skill is actually quite useful to have. You got to do 2 conditions. One is you got to win a G1 5 times, and you got to have 2 short distance skills. Well, one is going to be this, so that's actually pretty easy. But yeah, she's now designed for a short distance character. Now, Pride of King, was beefed because now your speed increases tremendously. And that was in the first anniversary. And in the second anniversary, Taikyokan, a skill that increased your vision, again a useless skill unless you're in the stadium, has now been improved so that you have a little bit of bonus to speed. And for this, you got to win the G1 5 times. You're going to have a skill that increases speed 3 times. Now, the question is, how useful are these skills? These skills are cheap. The vision skills are cheap. This is the 240. And one argument you can make with these vision skills, except for, well, even for this one too, with these vision skills, oops, not that one, is that if the vision skill happens towards the end of the race, then your character, in theory, should actually take a better position than other characters in getting to the final leg. And that should give you an advantage. Now the question is, how often is that going to happen? And I think that's very, very rare. So I talked for 30 minutes. That's way too long. That was the 2-star and the 1-star characters with the conditions that's been beefed up. Now I'm going to talk about. I will stop the video here, and next time, when I have a little bit more energy, I will talk about the characters. I will talk about the characters that were added in the Daily Legend race, because I will talk about the characters added in the Daily Legend races, like Special Week, because what this means is that if you put time, all these 3-star characters, all these 3-star characters will be available for you, and they're very, very powerful. Special Week has been beefed up. Rudolph has been beefed up. Taiki Shuttle was improved last year. Karen-chan is not as strong as she should be stronger. Tokai Teo has been made very, very strong. Mejiro McQueen has been improved. Teiyam Opero has been improved. not Super Creek. Maruzensky, the red Maruzensky has also been improved, so she's useful in certain races. Mihono Bourbon and Fuji Kiseki, both of them have been improved. And I think another big improvement has been on Biwa Hayahide. Asian Flash has also been improved, and Agnes Digital not so much. But she's useful in the dirt races. So all these characters are now available, and so I think it's worth it to talk about them. So I'll just stop there. After that, it just all depends on the characters that you pulled, characters you like. So I'm not gonna go through them because they're just so many. They're just so many. I can't do that. It's just impossible. So we'll stop here for now. I'll see you guys around. Take it easy.